Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me in another of my wonderful interviews. Now, as you know, every now and again we go out on the road. I say we, a whole bunch of truth tellers, I suppose, and we do a resistance to the Great Reset. We don't want any of that nonsense. You know that, I know that, and one lady who's at the helm, the Bodicea, if you like, of the Great Resistance movement is, of course, Liz Phillips, and she joins me now. Hello, Liz.
Hello. My husband says when I'm in a mood, I look between like Boadicea and Victoria, Queen Victoria, all rolled into one. So I guess you two have been speaking.
Uh, no, that just came off the cuff. Um, so, yes, we have another of these great resist events, which are heavily populated by people who are eager to come along and listen to the speakers. This one is down in Devon. I believe it's near Exeter. I'll get you to tell me in a second. On the 17th of May, which is a Saturday, and it's bringing it all together.
Yes, Richard, we're delighted. We will be at Exeter Racecourse.
Oh,
And so
lovely.
we're nicely out of town and nicely being able to park, etc. Hopefully it'll be a lovely day. And what a beautiful venue to go to. So
And will we
yes,
will we all be on the starting line? And they're off, and there they go, coming along down the string, run over the what's it?
yes, I hope that there are not too many fences like the Beecher's Brook and Aintree. So
Oh yes.
perhaps we'll go on the flat this time,
No,
not over
that
the
would be
hurdles.
that would be perfect. We have had gone over enough hurdles over the last few years as it is.
Yeah,
And so anyway, enough of the frivolity. This is 'cause it is serious business, but we do like to have fun at the same time and be optimistic about everything, which I think is vital. Bring it all together. What is it that we're bringing together, Liz?
well, we're bringing together all the resist side of things and some things that we've not done before. And
Oh,
I'm pleased to announce that we're going to talk about defence this time in a very serious way, because as we
uh-oh.
all know, there are all sorts of things happening around the world, and our government are hell bent on giving our defence forces away to the European Union, which they have been for many years. It's not just something new. So I've got a wonderful speaker in David Ellis coming along to give us the latest update and to do what we can to stop this all happening. So we've got, as I say, we haven't tackled defence before, not at this level anyway. So that's a first. And also near to your heart and near to mine, I've got a wonderful speaker on the chemtrails, contrails in the sky. And I can tell you now, I think probably one of the foremost speakers, and I'm not going to give his name out because of the job he does, but one of the
Right.
foremost speakers and one of the ones with the foremost knowledge in the UK about these chemtrails and what is happening. And I learned yesterday that it's going to be stepped up. Now, the government have sort of said that they're going to try and block out the sun. In actual fact, it's much worse than that. So, if you really want to get to grips with what is happening on that sort of front, please come along. So we've
Yeah,
got these two
that's
areas that
worrying.
we haven't tackled these two areas before, Richard. We've tackled many areas, as you know, but so these two are new, and so it's all fresh and bang up to date. So let's see as many people as we can for these. Also, in since we had our last event in February, of course, we've had all the problems that the farmers have been going through. And so we've got a good representation this time as well, something we haven't tackled properly before from the farming community. And we have somebody who I know you know, the wonderful Roger Meacock, the vet, because as they're trying under the wonderful UN Agenda 2030 to stamp out meat. Of course, what they've got to do with that is get rid of all the animals. And the way to do that is to reproduce foot and mouth, swine fever, bird flu, etc. And it's the ways that they're going to do it, the ways that we can do to stop it. Also, we've got a great friend of yours from the farming fraternity, John Cook, the dairy farmer, coming along to talk to us about whole milk. We've got David Baggott, farmer from Northumberland, and I hope we've got a hill farmer as well coming along to explain what happens in the real hilly districts of Wales, Scotland, and England, as opposed to just the straightforward arable farmers.
Mm.
Also, we will have a video. He can't be with us in person from Mark Lyford, the bowler hat farmer. Now, you came down to one of his, we had an event down here in March, which you came down to, where we've taken our farm over to electroculture. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but Mark will give us an update on the Fork the System tour, which he's going around all around the country. And so we've got a good representation from farmers. So that's that again. We got the wonderful Kimberly Isherwood, who
Oh, good.
I don't think any conference should be without, or any event should be without. And everybody who has ever seen Kim on stage, Kim could hold the London Palladium on her own, as you know. So we've got
Mm,
Kim, and we've got some regulars to talk again, update us all on 5G, update us on direct democracy. And besides agriculture, which we talk a lot about, we forget the poor old fishing industry. And we've got
mm,
the wonderful Mike Shaw from Felixstowe. People don't realise, Richard, we lost 25,000 jobs in, it's not Felixstowe, it's Lowestoft. In Lowestoft alone, 25,000 jobs went when we signed everything over, our fishing over to the EU. So we've got the wonderful Mike Shaw coming to talk to us about fishing. So we've got a great lineup. We're also going to be talking about some of the crime problems that we've got in the country. And also, not to be left out, we've got Jason Lloyd Davis coming back, talking about keeping Wales and keeping the UK connected and intact. Because as you know, things that cost one thing in Wales and another in the UK, you get one lot of health instructions and rules in one area and it's different in another. You go to Scotland, it's free university education and it's not in England. We need to sort these things out. We should all be really singing from the same hymn sheet, shouldn't we? So we've got Jason coming. So we've got a great mix again, but fantastic speakers and a wonderful day.
It sounds brilliant, and it's going to be interesting from my perspective because there's many new speakers there that I haven't met or heard of,
Yeah.
and so to get updated on what's going on will be truly beneficial.
And then
So that
the last speaker that there's probably a couple more, but the other speaker I haven't mentioned is about is one Richard Vobes, who
oh
kindly
God,
treads the boards for us every time, or nearly every time. I think you've missed one, Richard, at which we're not forgiving you for, but there you go. I suppose one out of this is I think it's our eighth or ninth event.
yes.
So we've done, you've done really well, and the Great Resist has done really well in pushing back. So we're bringing all the strands together, if you like, to resist the dreadful, awful people that think that they're winning, but we know they're not.
No, I mean that does seem to me like they're crumbling, but of course, that's not over till the fat lady sings, and so we're waiting for her to arrive anytime soon, so we can get out of all this. But in the meantime, we've all still energised and ready to resist as much as possible, and being armed with all that information from those wonderful speakers is what really helps. After the events that we've had in the past, people have been able to access the videos of all the speakers, presumably, just to remind people, I suppose, that that will be the case again.
Yes, and although it's really great to see people, all coming together, we will actually be live streaming as well. But don't let
Oh,
that, because that's for people around the world or for different parts of the country. I mean, we've not been to the southwest before. The nearest we got was Newport in South Wales. We've done Swindon, but we go all over the country. As you know, we were in Thetford back in February and Derbyshire at the end of last year. So we are going everywhere. Gateshead, we've got to do the Northwest next. I'm in trouble in the Northwest because we haven't done there. And of course, where I live in the Southeast, we haven't done that either. So it's a case of taking it round the country, £10 a head to see all these people, Richard, and to be able to interact with them in intervals before and after the actual event starts is paramount, I think, for everybody to get together. And as you know, some people think that they know things about one aspect, but they learn so much more
yes.
from everybody, from learning the whole gamut, the whole range of subjects that we cover.
Yes, and I mean it is an extraordinary range of subjects that you cover, but it's an extraordinary way that we are under attack, and very often people think it's just this and that's it, when actually it's quite surprising, the infiltration and the sexualization in schools, for example, that what's her name, Isherwood? What's her name again?
Kim.
Kimberly, yes, sorry, Kimberly, who is, talks with such fire and such passion, and is really at the forefront of that debate. Is where people are sort of really shocked and surprised that these things are as they are, or they may have heard a whiff of that, and then they'll hear the full facts. You talk to Mark Steele, and there's no escape from what he knows about 5G, for example, and that's the great thing about coming to these events. And I think people go away really with their heads buzzing, and but not necessarily negatively, because lots of solutions are being offered, and so they can dispel fear and tell friends and neighbours and all those people who are interested.
I think when you go back to Kim, when we had Kim up in Gateshead, I said to her, instead of just talking about the lessons that children learn in school, how about actually taking the lesson as if you are the teacher? And I have never ever, because as you know, I probably sit up facing the audience. I have never seen an audience so uncomfortable in all their lives, Richard, when they actually learnt what was actually being taught to 4, 5, and 6 year olds in school. They were so uncomfortable. And Kim actually took the lesson as if the audience were the 4, 5, and 6 year olds, and they were just horrified. So there is a huge impact. And of course, from that, you can then take that onto your MP. This is the positive side, is when you get all the facts, isn't it? You can then work yourself. And this is how we've spread it across the country. People then go away and do work on their own and start attacking their MPs, etc.
Yes, absolutely, and people who are somewhat sceptical or open-minded to it, that you can fill them in, and of course, the more people that are open-minded and open to what's going on, the bigger chance we have of pushing back.
Well, we sadly, and I know it's been the same in your family and other people I talk to, in our family we have the skeptics. We had one here over the Easter bank holiday, and doesn't believe at all about chemtrails. Thinks well, I've grown two horns and a tail. His father's gone mad. We've all sort of it completely off the planet, and has got absolutely no idea. They look at one side and only one side. When you say to them, well, where's the debate from the other side on climate change, for instance? Perhaps there
Yes.
is no climate change. Where is it? Oh, no, 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 no. You can't look at two sides anymore. You can only look at one. And now we look at the two. So that's where we come from.
Well, it's going to be a fantastic thing, and interestingly, when people come, at these events, when I'm there, people do come up to me and they say, Richard, it's only thanks to your show that I'm here, which is really nice to know. I mean, obviously, that there are other channels that know about this and all of that, but it's nice from my point of view, so that we keep these videos relatively short and just inform you what's going on, so that you can get it into your diary. And then if you're able to get down or in the area, no excuse, of course, come along and see the throng, as they say there, at the Great Resist event. Liz, thank you so much. Very much looking forward to it. It's always a good laugh, as well as very informative, one should clearly say. And I'm very much looking forward to it.
Thank you, Richard, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing you again too. Thank you for doing this program. And everybody is welcome, as you know. And we'll put up where the tickets are available from. They are on sale now. They're going very well, incidentally, but the more the merrier. A full house would be wonderful.
Superb. I'll put the link in the description so people can instantly get that organised in their diaries, and it will be fantastic. Liz, thanks you once again. You must be very tired from organising all these events all the time, but we really appreciate it.
It's great fun as well as hard work, but it's the outcome that's so important.
Absolutely. Well, there we are, ladies and gentlemen. That's Liz Phillips, The Great Resist, 17th of May, bringing it all together at Exeter Racecourse on the Saturday. So under started orders, make sure you get to that link and book your ticket. Till next time, thanks for watching. Bye for now.